And a very good morning. Welcome to the Saturday preview with myself, David Massey. Coming to you at exactly 12 minutes past 7 on Saturday morning, live from Heathrow. You'll probably hear planes taking off in the background at some point. You can hear the music and the light going on. We've been in the hotel hall all week here for Ascot. It's been a really enjoyable week, actually. It's hard work, but I do enjoy the rigours of Royal Ascot. Meet some really nice people. Sun's finally come out on these last couple of days as well, which hasn't half held. The first 2 days were just awful, quite frankly, total write-offs. But it's been fun. I'm glad the week's coming to an end. I'm on holiday next week, so there won't be any daily punts next week. I'm going to be away on the Norfolk coast with the good lady for a week, which I always do after Ascot to recharge the batteries. Anyway, we'll get on with Saturday's preview. It's worth saying, of course, I mean, you know, those that have been reading the punt this week, I mean, no form at all this week. I think the highlight of the week was getting a non-runner in one of the races and getting our money back, which was probably about as good as it got. Kinran finishing 5th in the Home Cup. At least we got a bit of value off of that. 14th last week, got off about 11-2 chance. So, all the same though, it's just been, I'm not in any form, so, you know, bear that in mind, please, when I'm putting today's selections up. It'd be lovely to turn it around last day and land a couple of big price winners, but I'm hardly confident. The races I've looked at, there's 3 of the races at Ascot and there's a couple of others to mention. 305, the first race at Ascot to mention, the Jersey, where initially, on first look, I was all over Space Blues because those of you that read the write-ups regularly, and you know, Space Blues clearly after his York win, when it came around the entire field and still won an easy couple of lengths, and that marked him out really as a group of straight away, I thought. And I thought he won at Epsom despite the track, not because of it. And he was nicely on top. I know he's won a neck, but there was more in the tank than Space Blues. He's a deserved favourite. But then I sort of started going through the race a little bit. And the problem you've got straight off is, where's the pace in this race coming from? There ain't a lot of it. It's probably going to be left to Bye Bye Hong Kong to make the pace. He made all at Windsor 2 starts. I say all, nearly all. Oh, This Is Us drew level with him in the final furlong and probably got his neck in front for a stride or two, but Bye Bye Hong Kong fought back really well. He missed the break at Epsom, Bye Bye Hong Kong, so I'm happy to sort of forgive that run. He's now sort of drifted to a backable-ish price. He's 20-1 in a couple of places this morning as I do this. He's drawn 15, which could be all right, you know. He's becoming half tempting. Now, Sky Bet are paying 5 places on the race. Now, they're only 14s, so I think I'd rather bet 14 5 places than I would 23 places, because he's the sort that could run well from the front, and then, you know, you're still in from 300 yards out and he gets picked up, ends up finishing 4th, 5th. I could sort of see that in my head. Equally, if he can get, you know, if Oisin Murphy can get the fractions right on him from the front, there's every chance he can hold on here. So I think he's worth a bet. Bye Bye Hong Kong. There were a couple of others I looked at in the race. On the Session might be another that possibly front runs. I don't think he's good enough though. There are some 3-figure prices around on the Session, but I just don't quite think he's good enough. I know they've gone with a pair of cheek pieces with him today. He won nicely enough. It was a listed contest that was stolen. He won it nicely enough, but he didn't travel with any fluency. As I say, 100-1. You know, maybe a quid each way, possibly. But I think, as I say, Bye Bye Hong Kong, if there is a bet in the race at the current prices, it's probably he. The Hardwick is worth a look, 340. Massar, of course, last year's Derby winner, not seen since. Is he vulnerable? Probably. If he's going to be vulnerable, it'll probably be today. This is a race I quite like the shape of, because you more or less know how it's going to be run. You know, Communique's going to be up front, giving it plenty, and Salawan's probably not going to be far away, and they are going to be pushing on here, I think, fairly early, and I can see that falling into the clutches of Southern France, who is more of a staying type than these, and will probably want a bit further. But if, you know, Ascot's stiff, and if they go a reasonable pace here, go a good pace, and I think they will, I could see Southern France falling in here. Stall 1 isn't ideal, I have to say. It's probably going to mean Ryan Moore doing a Japan and coming right the way around the outside again on him, but that's not necessarily a negative, given how well he stays. Then get a slingshot off that last bend and get after him. I think I think he's probably the bet in the race. I looked at Mirage Dancer as well, given Michael Stout's record in the race. I think he could be a big danger, to be honest. Stout's won this 6 times in the last 10 years, and the form of Mirage Dancer really isn't that far away. So, I think Southern France would be my bet. I may consider having a small saver on Mirage Dancer. They'd be my 2, but definitely I will be back in Southern France. Then we've got the Wokingham. Fun again. We ought to mention the 420 as well, haven't we? The Diamond Jubilee as well. If only because what a great race it is. Probably one of the races of the week for me, this, I think. All the fancy prices about Blue Point went as soon as he was announced that he'd be having a go. But this isn't easy, he's 2 to 1 and he's taking on the likes of Invincible Army, who's rapidly improving. The Tin Man, winner of this 2 years ago, and you get double figure prices about the Tin Man. He'll come on a bundle for the Windsor run. We were there that night, myself and the good lady, and we both sort of said, definitely not quite straight, the Tin Man, he'll come on plenty. And Libravido as well, an angle I've mentioned already this week about Aidan O'Brien horses dropping back down in trip. I do like that as an angle. It often pays. We were a little bit unlucky not to cop something off Fairyland, to be honest. We better 4 places, and she was doing all of her best work at the finish. She was bang there with them, and how we didn't cop for a bit off of that, I don't know. But then again, that's been my week all over. So I think Fairyland's quite interesting for the July Cup if they go that way. But again, Libravido, we've already seen Libravido earlier in the week. 5th behind Lord Glitters in first race on Tuesday. Drops back to 6 furlong here. Moderately interesting, I thought. There is 14 to 1 in one place this morning. Is it a bet? I don't know. And you can get 4 places. I'll make my mind up whether it's a bet a bit later on, I think, when I'm putting these up. But we ought to look at the Wokingham, because that's really the sort of key race of the day, I think. Pace in the race. The pace looks to be all up the middle. There is a little bit high and a little bit low, but not to the point where it is up the middle. I thought you've probably got 3 or 4 up there, likes of you got written them down. I can't remember right. And I know you got Lake Volta up there, who's out and out front runner, watchable. I think is in stall 11 as well. Another one that will make it, and I think the pace will come from up the middle. Now, what does that mean for those that's the closers, as it were? I think of the closers that are up the middle, the one I like is David O'Mara's horse here, Summergand, who's drawn in stall 15, which I think is absolutely ideal. Summergand was second on seasonal debut at Newmarket, and that form's worked out pretty well. He beat Flavius Titus, beat him that day. He's reversed that form with Flavius Titus next time up, but there've been other winners out of that race as well. The 5th came out and won next time out. The 6th only just got beat next time out, and even you go sort of down the field, and there were winners as well. So that form at Newmarket's worked out well. As I say, he ran as well, if not a bit better, than back there next time, reversing earlier form with Flavius Titus. He is a hold-up horse, and he can. I mean, he does respond well to pressure. My guess is he's going to come off the bridle, just after 2 out. I wouldn't be entirely worried about that, because he will find for pressure, and as long as they've gone hard enough early up front, and the gaps appear for Danny Tuddo, I think Summergand will be running on really well, and should at the very worst get in the frame. I say in the frame, everybody's paying 5 and 6, 7 places with Sky Bet is worth taking advantage of, obviously. So I'll be betting Summergand each way, I think 7 places. Of the others, Kate Byron obviously is obvious. Oh, excuse me, guys. Apologies. That's the hay fever. That's the hay fever coming in. I do apologise. Kate Byron's obviously enough. I mean, he's another one that's going to be finishing well. Drawn next door in 10. He's better known as a 7 furlong horse rather than the 6 furlong horse. So again, you can expect to see him late on the scene. Terrific Ascot record. Never runs a bad one at Ascot. Again, hard to see how he's far away. Similar comments apply to Gunmetal as well. He's another one that's going to be coming late. And Joe didn't see the Cenotaph, who was a horse who last year I sort of had marked out for this when he was winning a couple at Chelmsford. He looked a really speedy sort of. He's not quite hit the heights yet, but you can guarantee that Nasiri's going to be all out to try and win a Wokingham with his very final runner. A couple of other quick ones to mention at Newmarket. These are both on tracker lists, so whether it's today or not for these, I don't think it will be for the first one. Battle and Marathon in the 210, who's coming down, chunks in the handicap. Put Battle and Marathon in trackers, wait for him to start coming down in trip. And in the 320 Society Guest, who's having his third run, so probably wants this for a mark, but he's run all right a couple of times. I like this horse a lot, Society Guest. He will be winning races once he's handicapped, of that I'm absolutely sure. So 210 at Newmarket, Battle Marathon, 320 Society Guest. What's the best bet today? I'm hoping it's Southern France. I think he's got a really good chance of winning at Ascot today. I'm absolutely full of hay fever now. So I'll sign off by saying, have a really good weekend. I will not be back, as I say, next week, but the week after. See you then, guys. Thanks a lot.